Walk in a bar in India, it is difficult to miss the bottles of Bira 91 ale. Showing a animation ape in a punk rock hairstyle and one eye less rather than the sum, the tag recite, imaginary in India. In spite just launch in 2015, Bira 91 is now extremely famous through a nation dominated by omnipresent halcyon. Businessman Ankur Jain begun the mark while he excited behind to his home New Delhi following 10-year residing in New York. Noticing a gap in the Hindu marketplace for handicraft beers more than fragrant and thoroughly cooked rather than massive market light beer, he solved to begin his own brewery industry in $600,000, £427,000, of financing grown substantially of friends and household. The business began operative out of House Khas countryside, a neighborhood frequently deliberate to be Delhi's beat refuge, and named for its stick and pretentious boutiques. Yet time the Bira 91 chief office space is in Delhi, the brewery was initially made 4,000 miles, 6,400 kilometers, off in Belgium, therefore the motto imaginary in India, quite rather than cooked in India. Mr. Jain says he went to Belgium since he couldn't initially discover a brewing plant in India. How he mind was nice quite. In the Belgians creature planet famous for their brewery examination, Bira 91's two original beers were rapidly a hit in India. So how Bira 91 couldn't importing the bottles rapidly quite, and in 2016 it begun manufacturing the beers at a installation in the center Hindu town of Indore. By the end of recent yearly manufacture had enlarged 30 stack to 300,000 barrels of 5 various beers, and the business's yearly rental income had achieved $30 meter. At the identical period Bira 91 had provided $35 meter of foreign invest, consisting of U.S. enterprise equity company Redwood Equity. Mr. Jain now has his eyes set on world turnover, and you cannot blame him of not creature aspiring. Same intention is to be the at first world mark of handicraft ale, he says. Bira 91, same 91 comes of India's world dialing coding, already supply its beers to the US, particularly to New York and New Jersey. It at first begun marketing in such two states in 2016, following decisive to shove the mark by funding How Year's Tribeca Movie Fest in New York Town. Ours mark is in the medium of excess hipsterdom and excess main, says Mr. Jain. Metaphoric Tribeca, a neighborhood of New York Town is how to, he's not the top East Party, and he's not Brooklyn, so it treated for us. Now Bira 91 supply 2% of its Hindu manufacture to the US, but plans to growth how as it expands in Philadelphia and Boston. It as well intends to begin brewery in New York in the close next. And it hopes to be marketing in Singapore, Post Kong and Bangkok by the end of 2018. Now in 320 employees, Mr. Jain says how he newly felt a requirement to bring operative momentum in the business, and encourage a civilization of frankness to new ideas. My busy try was to provide how a lot more than human beings include judgment-making mandate, says the founding member and head execution. To do the Mr. Jain solved to align the organizational pattern of the industry. His comrade directors saw their elder job titles and specified seats in offices undertaken off, and now employees at Bira 91 sit about the identical lunch tables, enabling younger and elder employees to easily exchanging ideas. Bira 91 as well outdoor a other Hindu brewing plant recent year in the center Hindu town of Nagpur, and a tertiary is planned for 2018. Brewery specialist Sandeep Bhatnagar warning how if Bira 91 is to significantly grow its supply, it will include to put a big attention on manufacturing the top ale it perhaps can. Companies love Bira, while they wish to investigate world markets, they include to be really careful on the quality assurance how they are departure to production, says Mr. Bhatnagar, who is operating CEO of Ambicon Consultants, a business how helps set up microbreweries and brew pubs. They are speaking on take it to different Asiatic countries, and how marketplace is completely various to the Hindu marketplace. The Hindu ale marketplace is yet not ripe, but such places are. So if who is hard to enterprise in a location wherever human beings include expertise on ale, how man has to be really cautious. Advertisement alcohol drinks in India is as well a problem for Bira 91, with it is prohibited. As a outcome, companies include to rotate to option ways to contribute their means. Several brands opt for substitute advertisement, and contribute option non-alcohol means, such as sodas or though piece of music festivals, how include the identical mark behalf. Bira 91 associates himself in meal and piece of music, especially India Thai hop artists, and has a visible present at events such as the visible Hindu piece of music fest Magnet Fields. Mr. Jain says, "We wish to be portion of the entire Thai hop coup in India." Ankur Jain, Bira 91's digital sale chief, adds, "Human beings will begin regarding Thai hop in Bira. We wish to do it a crucifix cultural motion, in painter collaborations in India and overseas." As Bira 91 pushes Striker in its plans for world extension, it intends to eventually copy the India pattern of collaboration in melodic ability. Time it will person a big problem break in more than set ale markets, already cluttered in a army of handicraft beers, and in their own laws and regulation. Mr. Bhatnagar is sure how Bira 91 will do a successful of it. If they include made it in India, they can do it everywhere else, he says.